King Azouley, Mike Israetel, and why Wes Watson is next on my list. Okay, well, the whole reason why I even started a YouTube channel, it was started because I started realizing how many fake people were on the internet, spreading misinformation, spreading BS, and the ones in particular for me are the martial artists and people who claim they can fight, or people who are always talking about fights. Okay, I've already challenged Mike Israetel and King Azouley. I did these videos, one today and the other ones yesterday. Today I challenged King Azouley, and yesterday I challenged Mike Israetel. And the reason why I challenged these two is because Mike Israetel claimed that he could be an authority in anything anyone thinks they're good at. I within a year. So I made a long list of things that I'm actually really good at, actually the best in the world at some things, like, for example, kicking, flexibility, and using my legs for fighting. Um, I even had a comment not long ago where somebody said, and I reposted this on my community, where someone said, from Bruce Lee to Superfoot Wallace to Chuck Norris and Van Damme, AJ has the best kicks. Let's be honest here. And yeah, let's just be honest here. That's actually the reality. So I challenged him to also be that good at kicking and being flexible and all that within a year. And I challenged him to fight in any rule settings, in any weight class. So anything from street fighting to boxing to bare knuckle to kickboxing, MMA, UFC, you name it, Muay Thai. I challenged Mike Israel to any type of fighting. Now, with King Azul, I did the same. I exposed his kung fu story that is BS, that whole kung fu master from the Chinese restaurant. I exposed the forehead thing that he says he can actually make his forehead stronger to withstand punches. And I exposed that him beating up 30 people is BS. Yes, the guy claimed he beat up 30 people. You can't make this up. So I exposed that this is all BS, and I also challenged him to any weight class, any type of fighting, any type of rule settings. And the reason why I'm challenging these two guys, where I did that, is because they're the most talked about right now. I'm gonna be honest; they're the most talked about. The topics are trending, and they're being exposed, and everyone is exposing other things more. No one is really actually challenging these guys to like a fight, and actually means it like I do. Like I'll fight anybody. I don't care who it is, an influencer, anyone. And Wes Watson is an interesting one because Wes Watson has a way of weaseling his way out of fighting like a man one on one. He will say, like one of his recent videos, he was saying that he's not trying to fight fair. I'm not trying to fight fair, that street fighting, like I'll pull this, I'll pull that, jail, prison, and he brings up that he doesn't fight fair and therefore that he doesn't want to have an actual fight with someone. Hey, dude, like if you want to have like an unfair fight, like I'm the person to do it too. Like if I had been that monster guy, the 7-foot monster that showed up at the gym, and then him and his buddies start to try to jump me, I don't got to tell you guys how that would have ended. If he would have done that with me, Wes Watson, I would have actually taken all of you because none of you guys can fight. The only reason you guys were able to do that to the 7-foot monster is because that fool can't fight either. And if the 7-foot monster is hearing this and you want some, hey, you guys can all come to Holland, bro. Wes Watson, you can get on a plane, come to Holland, and bring the exact same tools you had against a 7-foot monster, and you guys can try that shit on me and watch what will happen. I don't fight fair either. And I'm a bouncer, been a bouncer in many countries, and I've been a bouncer since my late teens. So uh, you guys can try whatever. I don't care. I'm actually genuinely not afraid to die in a fight. Like I'll like I've said many times before, when I used to put on not even my taekwondo uniforms, not even my taekwondo fights or the MMA fights, judo, karate fights, kickboxing fights I've had, but it's like just with the security work alone, it was like putting on my uniform ready to die that day. So it's like the art of dying, like Bruce Lee said. Everyone is so concerned with winning and worried about winning, what people forget how to lose or how to die. And then Bruce Lee says to learn how to die is to be liberated from it. If you're not afraid to die, you're not afraid to lose, doesn't even enter your mind, you're not even worried about it. You're not even thinking that far. You're just relying on your abilities and just using what you've trained. You just know that you'll be able to react to whatever comes. This is the mentality of a real trained fighter, a real trained martial artist. If you're ready to die, you fight that much better, that much calmer, that much more relaxed, therefore being able to be that much more accurate, that much more speed, that much more power, that much more efficiency, better counters, you name it. Fighting is all about speed, but not just speed of the body, speed of the mind, reaction time. This is the most important thing in fighting is speed. Speed is what gives you the edge. It's all about speed and timing. Um, so yeah, this is the reasons why I'm gonna challenge all of these guys, and I've been challenging all these guys, is because they're fake and they deserve to be exposed. And again, I'll challenge anyone, any rules, anywhere. You guys can come to Holland. Here is the mecca of kickboxing. You can go to any gym here, put on gloves and spar and fight full contact. If someone gets knocked out, someone gets knocked out. In Holland, it doesn't matter. You cannot go around suing after that if you get hurt during a sparring match. So and I'm not, and, you know, I have just stepped uh, into a more comfort zone by doing this. So by that I mean I've been challenging people who can actually at least throw a punch or a kick, like people like Scott Atkins, Michael J. White, even UFC fighters like Sean Strickland. Like I've challenged guys on and YouTubers too, like Gabriel Varga, kickboxing champion. I've challenged guys that can actually throw punches and kicks. All right, they may not be at my level with it, and I expose that in every video. But I've never really challenged these like more like fitness influencer types, like Wes Watson, the Andrew Tate types, King Azouley. These guys that have a loud mouth. But especially these like fake guys that can't fight, because Mike Israetel, Wes Watson, and King Azouley, these guys can't fight. And out of these three, the only one that can maybe fight a little bit is Mike Israetel, because he actually trains jiu-jitsu. He actually spars. But still, I doubt how good he actually is too. So that said, it's like to me, these three are the same. And I'll triple down. I'll even fight these guys 3-on-1. This means Mike Israetel, Wes Watson, King Azouley against me. Bang. Like if I had these three guys at a club and they started something, or they would want to come in and they were not allowed in, I would just manhandle all three of them. It's not a problem, you know, guys like them. So it's like they're not even that big, also either. I mean, like Wes Watson is a midget that just came out. He's not as big as he says he is. When he got arrested, we all found out that he's like 5'7", 5'8". So he's actually shorter than me. Wes Watson, you're shorter than me, dude. Mike Israetel is an admitted midget. King Asuli also looks short to me. I'm not sure how tall he is, but that doesn't even matter. If all of these guys, if all three of these guys were 6 feet tall, I would still knock all three of them out. Morning, Joey. How you doing? Which one of these guys, challenge guys, would actually get serious and accept the challenge? Yeah, I wish they would accept the challenge too, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna. They're not even gonna make reaction videos to this because they don't want the smoke. They don't want the heat. That's what I've noticed about all of these influencers. Nobody wants to react when I challenge them to fight. It doesn't matter who it is, because at the end of the day, if we do spar, we do fight. They have too much to lose. They know I'm not gonna be the type to set it up in a way that it's fixed or that it's fake. Like if you're fighting me, trust me, I'm gonna go in there to knock you out cold. I want to see you leaving a stretcher. Like I want to really make my point clear. And I always say that about guys like Conor McGregor. If you have to punch a guy like 5, 8, 9 times to knock him out and he's still awake, that's not a real knockout. A knockout is like the way you see in Thailand, where the person is like asleep. Watch some Taekwondo knockout. Some people get knocked out cold in Taekwondo too. You will see that they get taken out in stretchers and stuff. So to me, anything less than that is not a real knockout. And if I'm going to fight someone, I'm going to fight to knock you out. I'm not going to fight to just tip tap or point and play fight and have it scripted, or maybe take it easy the first few rounds and all that stuff. Like that's not for me. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight for real. Like it's not gonna be BS. So um, there's no way you could bribe me into losing a fight, taking it easy on someone, or doing a play fight. If I'm fighting, we're fighting, like the Dutch way, the Mexican way. We're going at it, and that's it. Yeah, good. I'm good, bro. How are you? Morning for you. For me now, man, it's It's 2:20, 2:25. So it's afternoon over here. Yeah. So the Wes Watson video I'm gonna be doing later today or tomorrow. Right now I'm just talking about in generally that I'm gonna be challenging these three guys. I already did two. Wes Watson's next, so I'm gonna be doing like a good video on Wes Watson. I'm gonna start poking at him. Hopefully, I can. If any of these guys accept, we'll see. But I don't know how prison fights works. But if he does get locked up, dude, I'll go to the prison and fight you there if you want, dude. We'll do like a little fight there. Since it seems that they're taking all of your stuff and you're gonna go broke anyways. Who knows, man? Maybe once Wes Watson is doing time, maybe then he can actually use the money of a fight. And I don't know if they even allow that, like a legit fight in a prison, but that would be interesting. They've already broken so much rules and done so many types of super fights. So like, why not? I'll fight you in your prison. I'll go down to the U.S. and fight you while you're locked up, man. Like those movies. I don't even know the name of those movies because I don't watch martial arts movies. But those movies where they're fighting in prison. What's so funny, man? What's so funny, Joey? You're laughing, but I don't know why. Which part was funny? Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like again, I repeat myself, but I'll fight these three guys in any rule settings, and I'll even fight all three of them at the same time. So that's Mike Israetel, Wes Watson, and King Azouley at the same time. All three, no problemo. It'll be like a walk in the park. Yeah, no problemo. These guys pose no problem. They can't fight. Yeah, that is true. I did run out. Yeah, it's plus, man, like I was saying earlier, I have to touch topics that are trending, people that are trending, and you know these are the guys that are trending. Like Mike Israetel is trending. He's being exposed for the PhD stuff. Um, King Azouley is also trending for the stupid stuff that comes out of his mouth and the things he did in the past. And then you got Mike Israetel, that's also now being exposed for his PhD being fake. But I'm not exposing all that. That's for all the YouTubers to do. I'm simply exposing their big mouth when it comes to fighting. Because if these guys had not been talking so much about fighting, I would not be doing videos on them. Because that's that. Then you're talking about fighting. Then you're coming into my turf. You're coming into where I'm an authority. So when Mike Israel is saying, "Oh, take me a year to become an authority, anything you're good at," well, let's go, fool. Don't just talk, do it, because I'm right here, and I dare you to be good at anything I do. And I already did a video on this. King Azouley talking about that he fights 30 men, which is a lie. That guy should just be taken off all platforms, especially YouTube, for lying. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not, but that guy too, I've challenged him because he's also full of he's full of lies. He's fake, and he doesn't even know how to fight. So all his stories are BS. And so that's why I'm challenging him too, because he was talking about fighting and beating up 30 people and has all these stories and acts like he's a big tough guy because he can fight. You can't fight. I'll fight you too, no problem. I'll beat any of you guys one on one in less than 10 seconds. And if it's 3-on-1, it might take me longer. It might take me 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, depending on how much you guys are moving around. But without a doubt, the result will be the same. If I fight them 1-on-1, 2-on-1, or 3-on-1, the result is the same. All three of you guys will be knocked out. It's just the more of you, the longer it will take me, of course, but it won't even be that much longer. I mean, if I'm throwing combinations of like, let's say 6-7 kicks in 2-3 seconds, what are you guys gonna do against that? Nothing. If you guys see me knock out other people in my sparring videos, I'm actually taking it easy on them. I'm throwing single kicks. I'm not throwing crazy 3 kick, 4, 5, 6 kick combinations. If someone like me with my speed throws these combinations at you, mixing up low kicks and jabs with middle, I mean, it writes itself, guys. It's like they don't have the speed, the power, the reaction time, the experience, nor the physical capability to throw what I will throw at them. Like there's no way they can handle what I can bring to them. And I'm used to this. So it's not, for me, it's a walk in the park, these three guys, you know? So But I don't think they would have the humility to be like, all right, let's team up the three of us and go fight this guy alone 3-on-1, because that in itself is already making them look bad. If they're teaming up 3-on-1 to fight me, it already makes them look like they're not able to handle me 1-on-1, so they have to team up with two or three. But that's why I'm putting it out there like this, because I really mean it when I say it. I'll fight these guys 3-on-1, no problem. I literally have a record in Holland for my bouncer days for beating up three people at the same time that same night. So it doesn't matter to me. You come with 2-3 people, the result will be the same. And these guys were actually big. They were tall. Like, they'll make these three guys look like midgets. The guys have beaten here in Holland. So you guys pose no threat whatsoever. Just put your money where your mouth is, and come on. Don't just talk all that. And then Mike Israetel, which is, I feel this rage, and I see comments, and I want to do this and that to these people. Well, now I'm making videos, which is way above the comments that make you angry. So if you feel all this rage and want to tear me apart, I'm in Holland. Come and find me. I'm right here, dude. I'm waiting for you. Yo, how you doing, man? I'm good. My cardio is great. My cardio is always good. As long as you're sparring, your cardio is always great. You guys can see my most recent sparring videos. They're in my shorts. You guys can watch that. My last sparring session, I sparred 5 people, one after another. Bang, 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 bang. One of them was a boxer. Yeah, I'm always ready to fight. I'm always hitting the bags too. I'm always sparring and moving and training. So I don't run to have good cardio. I do a lot of other things for cardio, including the way I lift weights. It triggers my cardio. So yeah, cardio is a must if you're fighting, man. Exercise is a must if your body is to be a weapon. Period. And that's a quote of Bruce Lee. I didn't make that up myself. That's what Bruce Lee used to say. Exercise is a must if your body is to be a weapon. Protein. I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? If you guys have any questions, just ask, because I think I already made my point with what I wanted to say in this video as far as Mike Israetel, King Azouley, and Wes Watson. 2 down, 1 to go. The 1 to go is Wes Watson, because I already challenged the other 2. And out of these 3, if these 3 fought each other, I think, again, I think the only one who can fight out of these 3 is Mike Israetel, and I doubt that he would come victorious against even Wes Watson, because I don't know. If these 3 guys fought, I would have to give the edge to Wes Watson out of these 3. If they fought, I don't know why. I think Wes Watson would actually be the more dangerous one, or the least harmless one. I guess I would say out of these 3 would be Wes Watson. So if I was to fight these 3 guys, I will probably try to knock out Wes Watson first, unless one of the other 2 came at me first. But if I'm like this and I'm fighting all 3, I will try to knock out Wes Watson first. Again, of course, unless someone else approaches me first and I have to deal with them and just react to that. But even then, like, let's say I'm aiming for Wes Watson, but let's say Mike Israetel comes first to try and do a takedown, and I knock him out with a punch and a low kick. And then after that, again, I'll try to go after Wes Watson, unless, of course, King Azouley tries to approach me first. Then I'll have to deal with him first. But you should always try to approach the one you think is the strongest. So that's always a thing you should keep in mind. Who's the strongest one in the group? Who cares who the weakest one is? That you'll see on your own. Most of the time they run. But this is why, like, when people say stories like King Azouley that he beat up 30 people, it's BS, because to beat up 30 people, it's impossible. It's impossible. And if you're a good fighter and you knock out 1, 2, 3, the rest will run. And 30 is just too many. It's just too many. You will always lose. It doesn't matter how good you are. So, if you have a bit less than that, maybe 4 or 5 groups of 6, you knock out 1, 2, usually the rest run, guys. Like, I've had that before, where, like, I have groups that want to jump me, but once you put 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, the rest don't want nothing. They Most of the time they don't want nothing, and if they do and they still come at you, the best idea then sometimes is to like run and then catch one with a kick when they're approaching you. But most of the time when you deal with fights that are not one-on-one, that you're outnumbered, the first people you put down, after that the rest usually freeze, run, and they don't attack anymore. It's just you usually just have to deal with the first two or three. Sometimes you will have it too that uh yeah, Tang Sudo is okay, man. I mean, I'm not really a fan of traditional martial arts that much, man. Unless each martial art, the traditional martial arts usually just have like one specialty, and I don't even know what Tang Sudo specialty would be, in this case. So yeah, I don't know. But that said, I forgot what I was saying a minute ago. I lost my frame of thought. Drink some more protein. Mm. Oh yeah, Tang Sudo. Yeah, I mean, unless it's a martial art that's really good at a certain thing, like as far as traditional martial arts, I think the only ones worth the damn is like hardcore karate, taekwondo if you're doing the old school kicks, um, judo, karate, taekwondo, judo. BJJ. I mean, you could throw that in there, but like it's useless without anything else. BJJ. So I almost don't even want to throw it in there. The judo is almost sufficient. If you know judo, you can give most BJJ people a really hard time, especially because everything starts standing. Oh yeah, 30 guys fighting. Yeah, that's impossible to fight 30 guys. The first ones you hit, after you touch them, they go down, and the rest don't want none. With Mexicans, it can be an exception. Sometimes Mexicans will keep coming like cockroaches, and you keep putting them on, they keep coming. But that's not most people in most countries. Most people in most countries back down after they see someone get nailed with a head kick or a body shot, and they go down either in pain or unconscious. Usually, no one wants to be the next person to get hit like that. That's most of the time the case with most normal people, because most people want to act crazy, but most people are pretty normal. Most people are pretty normal when it comes to like fights and stuff like that. As far as skill level and how much they can do, is they're a pretty normal level, which means harmless. And a lot of times they will drink and they think they can fight. And this is also another thing. Sometimes when you get into a fight in bars as a bouncer, you will have to fight more than one or two people, because you don't have time to have other people be afraid of you because they didn't see it. Sometimes they go so fast that some people don't really see you knock one or two or three people out. So they may have only seen one, but you in fact already knocked out two. And then it ends up adding up. But if it's a situation where everyone kind of sees you take down one guy extremely, usually the fighting stops. I'll tell you guys a story from a fight I had in Leonardo's Laboom. Leonardo's Laboom was the club in Huntington Park. I used to bounce there. And allegedly they still talk about me there. There was a guy that found my channel and told me that they still talk about me there. He remembered me from working there in those days. And basically a fight happened, and I saw at the very end of the hallway that a bouncer was getting into a fight. So I rushed over there, and there was also other bouncers there. And when I got there, I grabbed one guy from the back like this, a big guy, and there were gangbangers, a big guy, and I grabbed him from the back like this, and then he was strong, so he was able to come out of it. So my arms went out like that. He was able to come out of it, but as soon as he started to turn to hit me, I was already kicking. And then by the time we made eye contact, my foot kicked his rib. I roundhouse kicked him in the ribs as hard as I could. But the thing is, he was like one of the biggest ones there. He was out of control. He was like tossing people left and right. So I just grabbed him. And again, as soon as he got out of my grip, I yelled, security, security, stop. And then he just went like that, like it was nothing. Like against strong guy, I kick him, hit him in the ribs, and everyone saw. Everyone kind of stopped and looked. It was just one of these situations where like everyone saw. Like it was also at the moment where the music wasn't banging. Like, you know how you have the music and boom, boom, boom. it was just a moment of quietness. So people heard the kick and saw it. And I even heard some guy that was sitting far away, "Ooh, that fool got kicked." Somebody just said this in the crowd. And then as I kicked him, he took a deep breath like he was still going to come at me. And then he felt it a bit late. He starts to like crumble like that. And then I just start yelling at all of them. And I said, "Start walking, Bitches." You guys know what that spells out. So I just said this word, "Start walking," B word. And then they all started walking. And I remember I was walking the guy that I had kicked. And I had one guy that worked with us as a bouncer too. He was a tagger. He was from some tagging crew in LA. I don't know which tagging crew. He was walking next to me, but he was also one of the bouncers because we literally had bouncers there with criminal records. I didn't have a criminal record, but a lot of the guys working with me in the boom had criminal records. So it's a different story in the US, guys. It's not like in Holland where people have clean records or they can't work security. It's a lot better organized here in that sense. You have to get a pass and all that stuff. But either way, whatever, we start walking them out. And that guy was saying something like he's going to get me back and this, that. And I was telling him to shut up. I was telling him to do it now. I was telling him I didn't give in. I didn't care. And I remember the tagger next to me, one of the other bouncers, was telling me to chill. This vato is from, he was trying to tell me what gang he was from. And before he could even tell me what gang he was from, I was like, I don't give a where he's from. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. I don't care, we should do something else, do something else. I was really like, I was at the time, I was 22 years old. So I was out. It was different. I had just barely been bouncing like 3-4 years. It was still in my early days bouncing. And, not was like boom, like we were always getting in fights because that club just has a lot of fights, a lot of gangbangers, a lot of illegals, a lot of paisas, it's in Huntington Park in Los Angeles. So it's an area where there's just a lot of fights. Yeah. So that said, it's like sometimes they see it and they'll stop. Sometimes you're kicking people, punching people because you're being attacked left and right. There's a brawl going on. And sometimes some people didn't see what you did. So you were like forced to do it over and over again at that moment until it gets better, And yeah, that's the reality of these brawls and fights. And for some of you that don't know my channel, you're probably asking yourself, like, what's the point of getting into that? Like, why you do that? Aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid you get hurt? Aren't you afraid of this? Aren't you afraid of that? No, people who are actually already getting into that kind of job, like they already have a certain mind frame, either that or they don't know what they're getting into at all. But most of the time you already have a certain mind frame and no one just wakes up and Shazam starts bouncing, like, usually it's people that have done something physical before, some kind of fighting before, or they have some kind of training in something, end up doing this kind of work, or end up being asked to do this kind of work. Like in my case, when I was asked, I was 18, almost 19, and 19. And it was after an MMA fight. They needed somebody in Acapulco at Disco Beach. It's nicknamed Disco Garbage by some people because it's a club that's like literally on the beach. Like you have the beach in front of you. The beach is part of the club. Like the sand is right there in front of the club. And yeah, that's where I first started bouncing, and with no training and security. The only thing I had was the fact that everyone knew that I could fight and that I also spoke fluent English. And they just needed someone at the door that could fight and that knew fluent English and that also spoke Spanish. So I just fit the profile of the person they wanted at the time. It was for spring break at the time. So 2004, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what year, but either way, whatever. Any questions? Hey, hello, Dragon Alexandru. UK. I used to be like that in the UK, huh? Like, what do you mean? Like the fighting? I think it's still like that in the UK. The UK is still pretty crazy. I've seen some bouncer videos from the UK. There's quite a bit of fights all the time over there, from what I see. Yeah, Disco Beach was nice. Disco Beach was nice for sure. Yeah. It's a taekwondo uniform, man. But thank you. Appreciate it. The cat wanted to go out, so I had to open the door. I was actually gonna go already, but yeah, you think so? It's old and deaf. Hmm. Yeah, it does. It does talk. Yeah. So you guys got any other questions? Right now it is see quarter to 3 p.m. I mean, it may look backwards here the clock, but it's quarter to 3 p.m. And everything is the other way around when I'm streaming like this, including the logo is the other way around. But yeah, it's 2:45 p.m. 44. Okay, nice. Where are you at again? I forgot where you're at. Oh, Romania. Yeah, it's not that far. No wonder. Just 1 hour difference. It makes sense. A lot of Romanians here in Holland. Yeah, that's where Andrew Tate lives. I heard though. I mean, apart from it being nice and all that, but is it true that Romania is really, really, really corrupt? Like I heard allegations that it's more corrupt than Mexico, and like, damn, dude, like I'm Mexican, and if it's more corrupt than Mexico, that's like another level of corruption. I think. Like, what the heck? Damn. Okay. If it's worse than Mexico, then damn, what does that mean? I can only begin to imagine. Does that mean like all the cops are on the take, everything is corrupt, everyone is for sale? Is it like that, or like because Andrew Tate also talks about it, like how if you have money there, you get away with anything. That's why he lives there and all that kind of stuff. Hmm. Interesting. Same with Pakistan, huh? Okay. Huh. But okay. But you're living there, right? Or you don't live there anymore? Or you're living in the UK? You're living in Romania, right? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Ever come to Holland or what? You should try. You should try to come here. For everyone that's tuning in now and that's watching it live a little late, in this video, I basically talk about that I challenged King Azouley. Mike Israetel, and then I'm about to challenge Wes Watson in a future video next, and the reasons why. So you guys would have to rewind a little bit to watch the whole conversation on that. But okay, maybe you should come down here sometime, man, to Holland and hit me up. And speaking of Holland, I've challenged these guys to come also to Holland because it's the mecca of kickboxing. Here we spar hard, so in case they're not really wanting to do like a fight where we're making money, I'm always down to spar and just stream it live like we're doing right now. Just whatever. I'm down for whatever when it comes to that. Yeah, come down, man. Hit me up if you do come down sometime, man. It's not that far, you know. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this stream, guys. Thanks for watching. To the next video, guys. Catch you later. Come down and we'll train. We'll do some training. Peace out, guys.